Hi and welcome to Bella Coconut Boutique on YouTube. If this is the first time you are joining me to create one of my patterns, welcome, 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 welcome. I am so excited for you to be here and to join me today to make this sweet little chick. If you have joined me before and worked on one of my patterns that are already posted and you're joining me again, thank you so much for coming back to spend your time with me. I know how precious time is, and the fact that you're sharing it with me absolutely means the world to me. So thank you. So today we're going to make this sweet baby chick keychain. So for this project, you are going to need the following materials. First, we are going to use a K 6.5 millimeter crochet hook. If you find a hook and it does not have a letter on it, do not be worried. You just want it to be a 6.5 millimeter hook for this project. You're also going to need needles to weave in your ends. I use two. The smaller one I use to weave in the ends of the project, the larger one to attach the keychain pieces. For this one, I am using Loops and Threads brand yarn in Sweet Snuggles Light in color Daffodil. And for the beak, I'm using just a little bit of this one. It is also Loops and Threads from Michaels. It is the Chenille Home Slim, and it's in color terracotta. If you choose to use orange or any other colors for your chick, if you want a white body, a cream body, a brown body, a purple polka dotted body, use whatever yarn you like. I'm just using these ones. They are a size 6 bulky yarn. You will also need some polyfill fiber filling to stuff your chick. I am using 10 millimeter safety eyes for my project. If you choose to use other yarn or stitch on or embroider on your own eyes, feel free to do so. You do not have to use safety eyes. I'm just using the 10 millimeter eyes for my project. And then for my keychain, I use the long bead connectors with clasp that I got on Amazon, along with these lobster claw clips in multiple colors. So you can choose whatever color you want. If you want a link to any of the items that I've used in this project, please just comment below letting me know what you want the link for, and I'll shoot it over to you. I am not affiliated with Amazon. I don't get anything for giving these links. I'm just giving what I'm using in my own project. So I have the ball chain and the clasp. You'll want a nice pair of scissors. If you like to use a stitch marker, you can grab one of those. And then whenever I use plastic safety eyes, I do use a lighter to melt and flatten the backs once I attach them. And I'll show you how I do that once we do the project. So now we're going to get started on this sweet baby chick. Again, you can make them in whatever colors you would like. I'm just going to do the yellow with the terracotta brown kind of beak. So to begin this project, we're going to be working with a magic circle. There are some wonderful tutorials already on YouTube on how to create the magic circle, so I'm not going to go in depth over how I do it. Feel free to look at some of the others, or if you would like input, I can point you in the direction of a good magic circle tutorial. So we're just going to create our magic circle. With this yarn, I highly suggest crocheting your first round slightly loose so that it has some leeway, some give when you pull the tail to close your work. In your magic circle, we're going to do 6 single crochets. That is 3, 4, 5 and 6. Then you're just going to grab your tail and close your magic circle. Pulling it tight, but not too tight. This yarn is prone to breaking and snapping, so just until you get it nice and closed. And then we will have our nice magic circle. From this point on, we are only going to be working in the front loops of the stitches. So when you look at the round below, you'll see that there is a front loop piece and a back loop piece. For this one, it is only in the front loop. So we're going to increase in every stitch of this round, front loops only. So by the end of round 2, we will have 12 single crochets. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now if you want to use your stitch marker, you can certainly do so and move it along as we go through the rounds. Or you can take the tail, tuck it between, and use that as your stitch marker. And that is what I'm going to do. So for round 3, we are going to increase again, but this time in every other stitch. So we will single crochet in the front loop of that stitch and increase in the front loop of the next. Single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. And we're going to do that for the rest of the round. And this will increase our stitches from the 12 single crochets that were in round 2 to 18 single crochets at the end of round 3. And 18. So we are now at 18 stitches for the next 3 rounds. Round 4, 5, and 6. You are just going to do a single crochet in the front loop of every stitch from the round before, so that rounds 4, 5, and 6 will just be 18 single crochets. No further increasing or decreasing. So we're just going to work in the round. If you would like to pause the video and meet me back here when you are finishing up round 6, feel free to do so now. All right, so we're just finishing up round 6. So by the end of this round, we should have 6 rows down. So we'll have the first round as our magic circle with 6 single crochets. The second round was increases in all of those stitches to make it 12. The third round was increasing in every other stitch, so we have 18 stitches, and rows 4, 5, and 6 were just single crochets around. Now this one, this next round, round 7, is where we're going to add our sweet little guy's wings. So for this round, we are going to single crochet in the first 4 stitches, again, front loops only. All right. And then into stitch 5, we are going to work his first wing. So we're going to do 5 double crochets in the front loop of this next stitch. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook in that front loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, we're going to do that 5 times. So that was 1 double crochet, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we have this shell. So you're going to take your hook out of that loop. You're going to count back 5 stitches to the first double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to insert our hook, put that loop back on, and slip it through. Now we're going to single crochet into the front loop only of the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we're going to create another wing in this next stitch. Again, we're going to do 5 double crochets into the front loop only of the next stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook under that front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. We'll do that 5 times in total. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're going to remove your hook from that loop. Be careful not to pull it through so you don't have to create that double crochet again. Count back 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're in the top of the first double crochet. Insert that loop back on and pull through. And then we are going to single crochet in the front loop only of the remaining 4 stitches from that round. So we will still have 18 stitches around. So for rounds 8 and 9, we are going to single crochet in the front loops only of all the stitches around, again for 18 single crochets. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. Behind the wings, you're going to put it right in. Don't worry about a front loop only behind the wing. We just want to create that stitch. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, again right behind, we will just insert, and 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And for row 9, you will just single crochet around again in the front loops only. And this is where I like to add my eyes to my project and the beak. So I like where the rows begin to be the back of my project. I'm just going to pull my hook out. I like to pull it through a little bit longer so it doesn't accidentally undo any of my stitches. And I am going to insert my safety eyes. Again, if you'd like a link to where I purchased or which ones I purchased on Amazon, feel free to shoot me a comment below and I will link where I get my safety eyes. So for this, I like to put my eyes between rows 4 and 5. So if we count the magic circle as 1, 2, 3, 4, we want it between rows 4 and 5, so right in there. And you can insert your eyes as far apart or as close together as you would like. Seems good. And when you figure out where you want to put your eyes, if you are going to hand stitch or embroider, you can do so. And then just pull your tails in. For me, I will attach my safety eyes. I will just push through and then push the little closure on the back until it tightens. Now, whenever I use safety eyes, I like to melt the backs of it because they are pointy. And I always get concerned just on my own that it's going to somehow push and be felt through the back side. And that thought just, I don't like. So I like to melt my ends. So what I do is I take my lighter and I will just burn or melt the back of the safety eyes, just the black part. and then use my lighter to press flat. So it creates like this button. So now the back of the safety eyes are flat and no longer a pointy. It's not incredibly sharp, but it's definitely uncomfortable for you to, if you were to step on it by accident. So I like to, again, just melt the back and push it flat. So it creates this flat button. And also by doing that, it flattens it so that it's larger and wider than this back closure. So it kind of holds it in place. If you want to add blush, you could certainly add blush. Here's a similar example in my ghost. He's got a little bit of blush. If you want to just do your beak, you can just do your beak. You can make your beak in any color that you want. I'm just going to nick the end to hopefully stop all the shedding, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So if you want to try, you certainly can. And it didn't work, it just pulled right off. Anyways, I'm going to attach my beak. I like my beak between rows 5 and 6. So the front here is your magic circle round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So between rows 5 and 6. And then it's up to you how thick you want to make your beak. If you want to do multiple rounds, if you want to only wrap it around once, you could just leave it like that. If you want to give it a little bit more height, I like to just wrap my yarn around 3 or 4 times. See if I like how it looks. I may add a 5th, but it just depends on how big and bulky you want the beak to be. Let's see, we'll see what this looks like. I think that looks good. So I'm just going to leave his beak just like that. And then I'm just going to tie off the ends on the inside. I like to just do a box knot, so when I tie, I go one way, and the second part I tie, and I go the other, and tie tight. Cut your ends. I like to, again, just nick the ends of my yarn with my lighter to hopefully stop any shedding on the inside of my chick. So there he is so far, and now we just finished rounds 9. We put the beak and the eyes on, and now we're going to start closing them up. If you want to make your chick longer, you can add more rows. If you look at the ghost, he's just a little bit taller. So if you want to add more rows, you certainly can. Or if you just want him to be a cute, short little chick, that's what I'm making right now. So for round 10 is going to be our first round of decreases. So we are going to decrease every other stitch. So in round 10, we're going to single crochet in the front loop of the first stitch, and then we're going to decrease between stitch 2 and 3, making 2 stitches into 1. So by the end of this round, we will go from 18 single crochets down to 12. Now when I decrease, I like to do the invisible decrease, meaning I will slip my hook under the front loop, wrap it around, and go under the front loop of the next. And then I pull my yarn through and finish the single crochet. I just find that it gives it a cleaner look and it's less bulky. But however you choose to decrease, absolutely go ahead and do whatever's most comfortable for you. So we're going to single crochet and decrease again. Single crochet, decrease. Single crochet, decrease. All the way to the end. Single crochet, decrease, and last one, single crochet and decrease. So now we're down to 12 stitches from 18. And we're going to do our last round of decreases. So now we're going to decrease every stitch. So we're going to take every 2 stitches and bring it to 1, so that this round of 12 becomes 6 single crochets. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, and I like to do 5 decreases before I stuff my chick. So there's 5 decreases. I'm just going to pull that little bit of tail through and stuff them in. Now I'm going to stuff my chick. You can use ends from previous projects. You can use really anything you like to stuff, whatever you're most comfortable using. I'm using polyfill fiber filling, which I get at Michael's or Walmart or Joann Fabrics. If you are looking for an inexpensive way to get some stuffing, you can actually go to Walmart and just grab one of their cheaper pillows for like $3 to $5 and cut that open and just pull the filling out of there instead of spending a little bit more money on the Polyfill brand's fiber filling. It's just as good, and it's just an easier way or a cheaper way, less inexpensive way to get the filling. And so far, that's it. That's our little guy. So now we're just going to do our last decrease and then close him up. And then we're just going to slip stitch into the next stitch and fasten off and weave in the end. For this one, I'm just going to use my littler hook, my littler needle to weave in. You can close up your project however you like. I'm just going to show you how I like to do it. So once I've got my yarn threaded through my needle, I just put my needle underneath the same stitch that I closed off my project with and tuck that slip stitch back under. And I just weave back and forth under the front loops of the 6 stitches to close. And then once you have them closed tight, I will weave my yarn back and forth underneath the stitches, kind of in a zigzag bobbin weave pattern. No real specific guidance or direction, just weaving this tail under so that it can't slip out. And once I feel that I've gone under enough stitches, I'm going to just redirect my needle down into my project and poke through and pull the tail out so that it's hiding the tail through the inside of the body. Okay, and that is it. Just gonna fluff them back up, and that's the baby chick. If you want to leave him just like this, it's perfect exactly as he is. But if you want to make it into a keychain, I take my larger eye hook and I just find the stitch that's about in the middle, usually right in front of my magic circle row. And I use a little bit of a larger eye hole to pull the chain through. So I will insert a little bit of the chain in and just pull through and out the other side. The reason that I use an eye hook is that I find that if I put a crochet hook in, it will hook the fiber filling. And then when I pull the ball chain through, it actually pulls some of the filling through. And I personally just don't like having to try to tuck it back in. So I use an eye hook. And then when I put my claw clip on, I like it to face the back. So when you clip it onto something, the front is facing forward. So I just line it up, facing the back. Then weave the ball chain through and then close. And that is it. That is how to make this super cute little chick keychain. It is perfect for Easter time if you have little chicks and you want to do multiple different colors in pastel. You could create lots of little baby chicks. If you have a friend that raises chickens, this is something super cute for the kids to snuggle up with, especially when they're sad that the baby chicks have grown up. If you like it for just for yourself, feel free to make yourself a whole flock. And if you don't, again, want to use the keychain, you don't have to. But that is the end of this tutorial. If you liked this video, please like and share. Please subscribe so that you will see more of my videos, and make sure to hit the bell for notifications so that you are notified when I post more videos coming up in the future. I do try to do 30-minute or less projects so that they're quick, simple, and easy. Especially for crafters that are preparing for craft fairs and you want something that is going to be quick and easy to sell and to make, especially because it does take a lot of effort to get this done, and we want to make sure that it is fun for you and it's not a whole lot of work. So I try to keep it, again, under 30 minutes. But if you liked this video, please like, comment, and share, and I appreciate you more than you even know. I look forward to creating more patterns for you and with you. If there's a pattern that you want that you haven't seen yet, comment below so that I can create a pattern and make a video just for you. And I'll share it with you so that you can make the creature or the animal or the object that you want. But I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day and happy crafting.